Hello everyone, this is Melanisha with Just Homesteading. As you can see from the box, we are making kit wine today. So we have a pomegranate and green apple. So I have never made kit wine before. That's not how I normally make wine, but I bought these kits on sale. They have great reviews, so I thought I would give them a try. Because I've never made kit wine before, we are going to follow the instructions as written. And according to the instructions, it takes about 30-ish days to go from primary fermentation to bottling. So that is a lot quicker than the time frame for when I make wine using fresh juice. Kit wines come with a big bag of juice, a flavor pack, a packet of yeast, and this yeast, it's EC 1118. This one is foolproof. I mean, anything, you can ferment almost anything with this yeast. It has a sulfite sorbate solution, and this is for stabilizing the wine before sweetening. Bentonite, I've never used this before. And fining agents. So these two packets will be used to clear the wine. I've never used these before either because I don't use any clearing or fining agents when I make wine. I use thyme and I let my wine sit until they are clear. Okay, so I am going to, so I have washed all of my containers and supplies in hot soapy water, and I am going to sanitize everything, and then we're going to start putting these ingredients in the bucket. Okay, so I have my sanitized bucket right here. The first step in the recipe, well, the first step in the instructions says to clean and sanitize the equipment. I've already done that. And then it says to pour 8 cups of hot tap water into the bottom of your fermenter. And this is my fermenter. I'm just gonna put 2 full quart jars of hot water into the bottom of this bucket. Instructions then say to add in the bentonite. That's what it looks like. Okay, and then it says to mix. And as you can see, my spoon has already been in my sanitizing solution, and I'm just going to stir. The instructions state that the bentonite may not fully dissolve, and that's okay. After you mix the bentonite in, the instructions say to add the juice pack. So I'm going to add the juice. Next, the instructions say to rinse the bag out with water and add that water to your fermenter. And for those of you wondering, I am using tap water. I've always used tap water when making wine. If I needed to add water, I try not to, and I've never had any issues. Okay, so I'm going to stir this, and then it says to add water to the 6-gallon mark. So I'm going to do that right now. I've added the water. I'm going to give this a good mix. Then the instructions say to use your hydrometer to check the specific gravity for day 1, which is today. To put a towel on my table, because although I love this table, it stains very easily with any kind of dark liquid. I have a 5-gallon bucket full of sanitizing solution. So that's what I'm using to sanitize everything that I'm using today. So I'm just going to pour some of the liquid into here. Should be good. And then I'm going to put my hydrometer in. You know, it's sinking, so it needs a little more liquid. There we go. Yeah, so if you have a juice or something that you know is sweetened and your hydrometer doesn't float, you likely need to add more liquid to your tube. Have some pen and paper here. This is the pomegranate, and just want to get the bubbles off of it. According to this, our specific gravity is 1.050. And then when you look at the rest, that means that's about a 6% alcohol content. Just double checking, which is a lot lower than what I would make my wine to, but I'm not gonna add any sweetener to this because the instructions don't call for it. Yep, so 1.050 specific gravity. Okay, and because I sanitized everything, I'm just going to pour this liquid right back into my fermenter. Now, if this wasn't sanitized and if my ladle wasn't sanitized, then I would not be pouring this liquid back into the fermenter because it could contaminate the juice. Okay, so the next step in the instructions says to sprinkle your yeast on top of the juice base and then put a lid on it with an airlock. So I am not going to put a lid on this. Yeast needs oxygen, but I am going to put a light towel over it to keep the bugs out. So you just sprinkle it on. And this is how I would add yeast when making wine from fresh juice. So then I'll take a towel like this, very thin. And as you can see, it's stained because I use this for winemaking, and you just set it over top. And you can stir every day, you can stir every other day. Some people don't stir at all. That is completely up to you. But the more oxygen the yeast has, the quicker it can turn the sugar into alcohol. Okay, so that's it for the pomegranate. I'm going to follow the same steps for the green apple. These fermenters do get fairly heavy, so if you don't want to move them far, just place it in the spot where you want it. I had originally planned to ferment these down in the basement. My basement is really cool right now, so I don't think that it is the right temperature. To ferment this wine. So I'm going to leave them in my kitchen for now, because we keep our house about 70 degrees, which is a good temperature for fermenting. I have a new clean and sanitized fermenter. I'm going to go ahead and add in cups of hot tap water. And again, the bentonite. And I have sanitized my spoon again. And I'm going to mix the bentonite in. And once again, we're going to add in the juice pack. I added some water to rinse out the juice pack. We're going to stir and then fill the fermenter to the 6-gallon mark. Okay, I filled our fermenter to the 6-gallon mark, and we are now going to check the specific gravity. Once again, everything has been sanitized. And again, we just want to make a note of our specific gravity. Okay, I'm just going to move it to get some of those bubbles off. And this one's the same, 1.050. And again, because we have sanitized our equipment, we are just going to pour this juice right back in here. So the instructions have you testing specific gravity again on day 14. They estimate that it would take about 14 days for these juices to finish fermenting. Again, how long something takes to ferment really depends on the temperature in your home. If your house is cooler, it will take longer to ferment. If it's warmer, it's possible that it can ferment faster. And this wine kit again came with the EC 1118 yeast. And this yeast is very easy to find. If you have a winemaking supply store, you can find it there. You can also find this on Amazon. And some of the winemaking supply stores ship also. So sprinkle that on top. And that is it for day one. Just like the pomegranate, I am going to lay a thin cloth over top so that way the yeast gets air, but it also keeps the bugs out. Okay, I was just double checking the instructions. We don't need to add anything else right now. So I'm going to set these to the side, let them ferment. I will do my best to record over the next few days so you can see how the wine progresses. Well, that is it for now, and I will see you in the next video.